Prior to going to business school, I worked for a local ministry slash nonprofit, really doing what I like to call church consulting. So we worked with churches all over the world that would find out about our model and call us up and ask us to come and help them out. So we would go and help them figure out what does their culture look like and match that up to what the methodology or model that we had created. After graduation from business school, I'm actually working for a company now called North Highland and doing general business consulting, and I have been doing that for about a year and a half now. So the reason that I decided to go back to business school was sort of interesting. It had been 11 years since I had graduated with my undergrad, and I honestly, through many of those years, I had really thought that I wouldn't go back to get my MBA. I had a few friends that did, but a lot of friends that didn't and seemed to be doing okay. And so really decided that it probably wasn't for me. However, things always seem to change in life. So as I was working for this ministry, about halfway through, I really had learned a lot about myself and more about my skills and abilities and talents, and decided I really wanted to use those more fully. And I think that prior to even, before I'd gone into ministry, I also worked in business. But I don't think that I was ever really utilizing my skill set. And once I got into ministry and started seeing and having a better understanding of what that was, I really decided that it was, for me, I think I wanted to go back into business. And so, having taken that jump from business to ministry and then wanting to go back into business, I felt like the business school would give me the most opportunities to do that and give me an opportunity to take what I learned about myself in the nonprofit world and sort of polish that, bring it together, and help give me the boost of confidence that I would need to kind of go back out into the business world. The interesting thing is, and this is sort of a side note, I was just in a conference last week, a pretty large conference that had an executive panel, and on that panel someone asked, when is it okay, or when do you need to decide to go get an MBA? And the speaker on the panel said, really in today's world, it's almost a must because we are competing on such a global scale now. Competition is pretty fierce, and having an MBA just gets us in the game. So it made me feel very proud that I had actually done that even later in my career. And honestly, for me, it worked out best that I did take that time. I think that time was very valuable and helped make my MBA more effective in how it took me to the next level. Number one, at the very, very top, is to use the network that you're going to gain through business school. That network will prove to be valuable for you, not just to land your first job, but for the rest of your life. I think that it is best when you're in school. What I have found is that people are more willing to meet with you and to help you when you're a student. That becomes much harder 2 to 3 years out in the workforce, because then people are willing to help out, but for some reason, when you're a student, they just seem it's more more philanthropic, I guess, to help students out. So they're much more willing to help connect you and to help you. So take advantage of that. Also, you won't have the time like you have in business school. And granted, there's a lot of work, there's a lot of schoolwork. But if you plan right, there's a lot of extra time that you just won't have when you get back into the workforce. And so honestly, I would plan to meet face-to-face if possible, but with 3 to 4 people a week through the whole time of your business school. And as you continue to meet with those people, ask them to connect you with other people that they think that it would be valuable for you to meet with, and meet with those. And as you build this network, then you kind of make decisions about who you want to stay connected to once you start working. But I've seen that the people that I met through business school, I still meet with and talk to today. They have been valuable for me to help when I want to connect friends to get jobs, when I need resources, when I need advice. I actually have just landed an amazing opportunity to go work for a startup company. And so I've been in business consulting and have loved it, but because of the network that I was in, or the network that I had from business school, someone called me up and said, "You want to come work for me?" And I just don't think that many people get this sort of opportunity. And so I felt like I had to go take advantage of it. And I think that came from the network that I had built. So that, I know I've talked a lot about that, but I would say that is the absolute #1 thing that you need to do when you're in school. Number two, I would have fun. Just use an opportunity to sort of take a break from the real life. It's a safe place to sort of go on a little discovery, figure out what you like and what you don't like, take some classes that you might be sort of interested in. And I wouldn't get so bogged down in what you feel like you have to take to make your resume look good. Honestly, after school, no one really even looks at what classes you took. Take what you have to and what the school suggests that you take, but then with that, have some fun and take some things that might further your interest. And then number three, the school offers lots of opportunities that you're going to find that are super valuable in the business and the workforce. A couple things like if your school offers a Six Sigma certification or leadership development or executive coaching or any sort of those things, I have found that after business school, I'm finding people in the workforce that are begging for those things. So I would encourage you to participate in any of those things that the school offers you because it's really you're getting a bonus for free. So I set off to interview for internships, and I tried to get a little bit more focused. I knew I wanted to do consulting when I got to school, and so I tried to stay focused and interview with consulting firms. But I also said, internship's really an opportunity just to get some experience. And so I kind of went after everything. And I actually ended up getting a job working for Bank of America. The school that I went to, Terry College of Business, had a great relationship with the corporate workplace department of Bank of America. And because of that relationship, they did an excellent job of coming in and recruiting students for their internship program. What I loved about the program was that I was a part of a selective group from other schools. And so I got to meet people and talk to other students about their own experiences in the program, in their own programs. So we spent 2 months at Bank of America. We were each given a project that made a significant contribution to the organization. And we were given sort of the freedom to go out and use that project as an opportunity to meet people. And so I just felt like I needed to take advantage of that. So when I got there, I had a great project, had a great boss or mentor who was also a mentor to me through the program. But then I got to meet people across all of Bank of America in different parts of the organization, ask them questions. And for me, this was just a part of extending my network that I was trying to develop while I was in business school. And several of those people I actually still stay in touch with today. And so, I wouldn't say that the internship was a direct link back to what I wanted to do upon graduation, but I was able to make that link very well. And I think that's kind of another piece of advice of the internship. Use it as an opportunity to get experience, but then figure out how you're going to link it back to what it is that you truly want to do. And so, for me, I wanted to do consulting. So this was even though it was for Bank of America, it was in financial service industry. It was a project that I did for a summer. So technically I was consulting for them. And so I was able to take that and translate it into what I wanted to do long term. And then, again, just add it to that network and get some experience. And then taking what you sort of learned that first year in business school and applying it to your prior experience to then go kind of try it out in a safe environment where you needed to do well, but you knew at the end of the summer you were going to be gone anyway. So it's sort of a safe environment to go try it. And what I found that when you go do that is that you just get a really huge boost to your confidence that helps you going into that second year and going and applying for positions outside of business school. The school did things like, different programs that they would do, leadership programs or Six Sigma certifications or executive coaching. And I would use those things and leverage those things to sort of begin to build my network. And I know that there may be some questions of really, truly how to do that. But for instance, if you are assigned or have the opportunity to be assigned a coach, get that coach and have that coach sort of help you create a plan for how you're going to network and have them connect you with people. What I found is that they know a lot of people that could really help you. Learn to, and use these different environments to learn to get really good at telling your story. People don't want to meet with you and just hear bullets, but they really want to hear your story, and they want to kind of sense some passion and some excitement about what it is that you want to go do, where you've come from. And so as you continue to meet people, whether it's professors or people inside these other programs, use those opportunities to practice and develop and to get better at telling your story. So another thing that the school does is has information sessions where organizations will come to hire for internships or for postgraduate employment. And definitely use those. I mean, it's really a must to go to those information sessions if you want to interview with a company, but also use those opportunities to, again, build your network and to meet more people. And if it's a company that you may not be interested in, still go and listen to what it is they have to say, introduce yourself, tell them what it is that you want to do, and see if they know anyone that they might can connect you with. And what you'll find is that many of them might have a friend from their own business school experience that works for a different company, and they can help make that connection. The other thing is just on your own. I would start with your own personal network that you come into business school with. So whether it's family or friends or your church or your community or whatever it is that you've been involved with prior to business school, begin to use that. Meet with those people. Tell them why you chose to go to business school and what it is that you want to go do afterwards, and ask them to help you, help connect you with people that might can help you get there. It's really just about, again, meeting people, telling them your story, and hope that there's some sort of connection there, or at least they know someone else that they can connect you with. I actually made the decision to go back to grad school about, I want to say 2 to 3 months before applications were due. So this was sort of a quick turnaround for me. I knew that I wanted to stay in the South. I had got my undergraduate from Georgia Tech here in Atlanta. And so I knew if I wanted to stay in the South, the top programs would be, Emory, Georgia Tech, and Georgia. Emory financially was not in the realm for what I wanted to spend. I really kind of had a goal when I set out and applied was I didn't want to pay for grad school. And I know that's sort of a lofty goal, but I think there's so many opportunities out there today to get scholarships or financial aid or fellowships in the program, or assistantships, I think is what many of the programs call it. That's sort of the goal that I had. So I applied to 2 schools. I applied to Georgia Tech and to Georgia, and then had to make a decision between those 2. And a couple things that swayed me towards Georgia, towards Terry College, was one, that they gave me an assistantship, so kind of met my goal of not having to pay for business school. 2, it was a different network. Because I had gotten my undergraduate degree from Georgia Tech, I kind of decided I wanted a new scenery, a new network, a new group of people, to kind of broaden my own worldview or my own perspective. And I felt like if I went back to Tech, I might just get a little bit more of the same. And I think it was a great decision. I'm glad that I did it, and I know a whole new group of people now in Atlanta that have been a huge help to me, so far.